TechFeverPodcast right here on youtube.com/play everything, where we unpack all the tech news of the week from smart home to home theater all the way to AI and robots. Alongside me, as always, is my co-host Kevin Coello.
What's up, dude?
Man, we were getting to it wrong.
Yeah, we certainly are. Sorry about last week. That was my fault.
No, you're good. There's going to be scheduling conflict. So don't expect this. I mean, we're going to be as consistent.
No, expect it every week.
Schedules could be.
If I mess it up, that's my bad.
Well, eventually I'll probably be able to get somebody else in here if like there's a week that you can't do.
that.
But I mean, we'll see.
No.
Okay, never mind then.
Maybe
we'll
see. I don't know. You want to get someone else in here? Fine, I'll leave. What do you want?
No. I'm saying else? When you're done, when on your off weeks. Yeah, but play with any cool tech this week.
Play with any cool tech? No, but I just got a Roomba and I'm excited to try that out.
Ooh, yeah. What Roomba model did you get?
It's the S9 Plus.
Fancy.
Yeah.
So
I got in a big argument with Paula because she was like, "Let's go with like a cheaper model," and I was like, "Or we pay a little bit more and we get the best one." That like, I was watching a lot of videos showing what the difference are, and this one is specifically better on hardwood and with hair, and like those are having a cat and hardwood floors. Those are two things that I'm trying to deal with. I'm interested to see how my cat handles the Roomba coming in and cleaning everything up.
So it's probably not well.
No, I can't imagine. I can't imagine he's gonna enjoy this, but we'll see.
So again, with the Roomba stuff, I've never owned a Roomba. I know like the differences somewhat between them, but like what makes this one so special other than it does better on hardwood?
So it does a better mapping system, although I think the model below that is the 7 something. I can't remember exactly.
7.
Yeah, but the big difference is this one has like a home base where it goes back to recharge, and when it does that, it empties out into it, and it can empty out a full like load 30 times into the little bag that you then have to change. So that's also a positive where it's like I don't have to worry about like it's full and figure that out.
Changing it out.
Yeah. So it's
and
kind
it's
of
so small.
more
They're
automatic.
So tiny.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it can fit.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot.
Maybe, but it can empty that out 30 times. That's a lot less of me going back and forth and emptying this little compartment.
Yeah. That's the one thing that always kind of turned me off about them is because it just seems so annoying.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like I know it sucks to say that I'm lazy and I don't want to deal with that, but like that's what it is.
That's the whole point of getting a Roomba, though.
Yeah, exactly, right? You handle everything, little guy.
Yeah. So I mean, why do I want to then check in on it because it has such a little tank?
Yeah.
Little itsy bitsy tank.
Little tank.
That you got to empty out.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to hear. I know I've never had a Roomba. I kind of want one, but
yeah, Tim got one not too long ago as a gift. I think it's the 675 model.
Itty bitty tank.
Yeah, itty bitty tank. But it's done a phenomenal job at his house. Like I've seen a noticeable difference with the cleaning. So I'm stoked. Hopefully that all works out good. I do have some little bumps that it has to go over, and that's another thing that this particular model is better at going. I think it was 3/4 inch bumps it can handle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
doing
and like
some little off-roading.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually like generally speaking, there are parts of my house that have bigger bumps that I was concerned about. So
Roomba fixing all your issues.
Mm-hmm.
Man, tech's so cool.
It really is.
Stuff.
There's also they have the Bravera or something like that.
Bravia Jet, the mop.
The mop one, and the top of the line one also like works with this Roomba, where like the Roomba will finish vacuuming, come back to its home base, and then tell the little mop like, all right, it's your turn, and then the little mop will go out there and mop everything up.
That.
Yeah, I like that too.
I really want one. They're so expensive though.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
I mean, and the nice models, you get the little itty bitty tank models, and I feel like they do like an all right job. But
your floors are pretty clean.
I mean,
you don't got a cat, so you don't have hair everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
The daily struggle with me.
Animals.
He jumps out of his litter box. I don't know why. He jumps out every time, and it's just every morning I had to sweep up. Hopefully that's over now.
That and furniture, man. Cat hair just gets all over furniture.
It's the worst. Cats are the worst.
I mean, you have one.
No, I didn't want it. You know what I mean? That was forced upon me.
Sometimes that happens.
I specifically, I had a cat several years ago. Great cat named Forrest.
Oh,
white-haired cat.
All right.
Hair all over the damn place. And then when he passed, unfortunately, he got cancer, and we had to put him down. It was very upsetting.
Man, that's a real bummer.
Yeah.
I had a cat.
Only 7 years old. But after he passed, I was like, I'm never getting a white cat again, because you get on all your clothes. And then Paula fell in love with this Thomas.
I feel like the black hair is the same thing, though.
Yeah, but it's less noticeable. If I'm wearing a black shirt, It's fine.
Can't tell.
I'm very rarely wearing a white shirt. I know that I'm wearing one right now, but this isn't a normal occurrence.
But before we move on from the cat talk, you know I had a cat one time?
Yeah.
My dad killed it with a steak knife.
Yeah.
not, you know.
When you tell the story, it sounds a little intentional.
No, I mean, he didn't like it on the counter, and we were all eating at the dining table, and it jumped up on the counter, and my dad, just very impulsive man, and when it jumped on the counter, he threw a steak knife at it, thinking the butt of the knife would hit the cat, and then stuck the cat.
He really good at throwing knives?
No, he thought he was. He thought he was a master class at throwing knives, but turns out, I mean,
I'm sure that was a traumatic dinner.
Yeah, no, it was pretty traumatizing.
Oh my God.
That was a little itty bitty.
Yeah, that's exactly how you scar someone for life. But okay.
Yeah. So moving on, I played with some cool tech. Actually, this was okay. Well, I'll say this week. The Galaxy Z Flip.
Oh yeah.
I actually got my hands on it.
Oh yeah.
Now again,
Is it everything you wanted it to be?
I mean, it's at this point, these are just so underperformed. I read an interesting article from The Verge where it's like, foldable phones are the future with today's software, essentially, right? Where it's like it's not really utilized for any of the cool functions that it has. It's just interesting. Like, it feels so weird actually, like folding the phone. I actually posted a video on Twitter, and someone was like, I was not expecting you to fold in, like for it to fold in on itself like that. But I didn't post it was a foldable phone.
Is that the one that was like, hey, creases and bubbles are normal?
No, that's the Razer.
Razer.
Yeah,
okay.
The Razer. Great products over at Razer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
you were so excited about the Razer too because it has the front screen.
Yeah,
right?
I like it. It's just not there.
Yeah,
It's just
technology.
not there yet.
But it's getting closer, and that's exciting.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see from it, but it was cool. I liked. I mean, there wasn't really a lot of functionality with it. I mean, you can do the little fold thing and then have it as like, you can webcam and like have it set right there when you take
cool.
notes, or I don't even know what you'd use it for, but hey, it does
it's
it.
there. It does that.
Yeah, again, a little underwhelming, but I mean, again, it's really, really cool to kind of see that kind of technology in the wild and actually hold it, feel it, because you're not going to pay $1,500 for that thing. No.
As far as foldable phones, is your favorite still the Galaxy Fold?
Yeah, the Galaxy Fold's still my favorite. I still feel like that feels the best. Now, again, getting into some quickfire news. I don't know if you saw the TCL. You know how we were talking about how they kind of do the extended underneath itself. Well, they didn't announce that, but I feel like that's kind of what the patent was for this particular thing that they showed off, where it like folds 3 times.
Yeah.
And then you have a full-fledged tablet. But then it folds back, and then you kind of have that infinity display like on the side.
The sides, yeah.
Another really cool way to use it. I feel like we're getting there, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get into some quickfire news. These are the pieces of news throughout the week that not a ton to talk about, but I do think they are noteworthy to be talked about. So Google's next Chromecast Ultra may be an Android TV dongle. Basically, a source from 9 to 5 Google says the Chromecast Ultra will be basically Android TV. So you don't have to run their weird Chrome-like apps the streaming apps, the cast apps, I think that's what they're called.
Yeah.
Where it like has to be specifically utilized for the Chromecast, opposed to just like a Netflix app that's like pretty standard across the board.
Yeah. So it'll be more similar to the Amazon Fire Stick, where you go in there and there's a menu and you can.
And it has a remote.
The exciting thing about that is you don't have to worry about finding your phone to control it or have an iPad there to like cast
on
it.
your Chromecast. Does your Magic Remote work on the Chromecast interface?
My remote pauses and plays, but that's and then volume control. But I don't think that it rewinds either. I have to do that on the app, but I can also yell and like be like, all right,
Yeah.
Key phrase, rewind 30 seconds, and it'll do it.
I do like that it's coming with the remote. It's like an Apple-like remote, Apple TV-like remote with voice control. But again, the whole point of everything now is getting like remote-less or close to the remote-less. What I like about the Samsung TV, I have the Q9. It actually auto-programs into like anything that you plug into the TV.
That's cool.
So I could use it on my Fire Stick or a Chromecast. So
yeah,
that's a cool benefit. But anyway, so that is going to be an update coming soon. They'll be releasing the new Chromecast Ultra soon. Philips Hue is ending support for the first bridge on April 30th. Again, this is just something going back to like what we were talking about with Sonos. Basically, this stuff gets killed off eventually, which is a huge bummer. But again, this is a really old 2012 is when it first came out.
For now, the app will still work because there's a separate app that you have to use if you have a Gen 1, the circular hub.
Yeah.
And the app won't be updated, but like for now it's still functioning and you
Until
can
it
still download it. Yeah.
Just like the Sonos.
Right.
Which you actually texted me this. I mean, I guess that's part of this.
Mm-hmm.
But the part that's going to bug me is like eventually like bulbs. Oh, you're going to have to change out your bulbs. Like the hub doesn't bug me as much.
I don't know, because right now you can still use the version 1 bulbs, which I actually have 3 of them that I still use with the version 2 bridge.
I'm just saying, I feel like we're going to get to that point where it's like, oh, got to change all your shit.
I don't know. I really don't think that's going to happen because they're still using the Zigbee. Like I think that's going to be if they ever move off the Zigbee.
We'll see, but that's the bummer, right? Is like Sonos, the fact that they could just be like, oh, okay, time for you to upgrade.
Yeah.
Time to buy more. And that's the part that kind of bugs
I mean,
me.
that
but
already,
that's what comes with it. I
yeah,
guess.
that already happened with the hubs version 2.0 if you want to integrate stuff like Hue Sync or the Hue Sync box.
Yeah.
You need to have the newer bulbs. What is interesting is the version 4 of the bulbs that came out recently have Bluetooth. I don't even know if they're calling them version 4, but they're Bluetooth enabled. So theoretically, you don't need the hub. So if there's like
power outage,
and you've lost Wi-Fi connectivity to your actual router,
yeah.
you could still via Bluetooth control them there.
Super helpful.
I don't know. It's super helpful.
I mean, there's
like,
been so
the
many
switches
times
still
where
work
it is
on
like
and
the
off.
internet's out and then like can't turn on my lights. It's like
Well,
really,
I mean,
I have my little switch.
I think that they have fixed that in the sense that when you go to they have the power on state now. So you can go into the background settings and define what you want it to do when it turns on and off. So I have that set to just be set to the brightest the light setting.
Yeah.
So if there's a blackout, which has happened, where like it's not blackout, for whatever reason the internet cut out in my house, Comcast was down, and we just went back to using the normal flip.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And it all worked fine. But yeah.
Again, one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon's Ring announces the Ring Doorbell 3 and Video Doorbell 3 Plus. Essentially, this just adds, it's basically the Doorbell 3 is basically very slight iteration. It's just something more that they can sell. And then the 3 Plus is essentially adds, I believe it's
pre-roll.
Pre-roll, but I believe it's 5 seconds before it actually starts
4
recording.
seconds.
4 seconds before it starts recording.
In black and white. So it's interesting.
Yeah, but I guess that's to save the actual battery of the.
Yeah, so you have to imagine it is the battery or the camera is constantly recording and replacing those 3 seconds, and it switches over when like someone rings it. It saves
like
the
motion,
file. Yeah, or motion. Yeah.
A cool feature. A lot of like Arlo and I believe Nest also has that already. So they're just kind of catching up there. Just something to keep an eye on if you're looking to get into the doorbell game. And then Pixel 4a leaked video.
Wait. Before we go on to that, let's. I was looking at the Amazon Doorbell 2 because it has this Ring chime, which is a separate little box.
It's a Wi-Fi extender.
It's a Wi-Fi extender, but it also works as an actual doorbell. So you can plug it in near somewhere that you like. Let's say you don't have the wiring for a doorbell. You can just plug that in. And interestingly enough, I got my hands on one of those, the Doorbell 2. Would you want it? Because I know you guys don't have a doorbell here.
Sure, I'll take it, man.
All right,
Is it one of the battery ones?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. All right, cool. I'll bring that over and you can talk about it next time. Good. I meant to bring it now. Yeah.
No, it's I do like it. So like if you have like an upstairs room, you can put the chime in your room.
Yeah.
For like again doorbell functionality without actually having the wiring for the doorbell. That's cool. They also updated the chime. Looks better, cleaner, but I mean not really a whole lot of added functionality to it.
Oh.
So
I mean its job is simple. It just works as a little alert.
Make some alerts. So keep that in mind if you're looking at getting a doorbell. And then the Pixel 4a leak video. You're the Google guy. I don't know if you saw this at all.
I did. This is really interesting. Literally a week ago. Just in the sense that 2 weeks ago, my little brother hit me up and he was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about buying a phone," and I was like, "Just wait. I have a feeling that the 4A is going to get announced very, very soon." We're around that time, and he's like, "I don't want to wait." So he bought himself his 4. Right now, the 4s are like really cheap because they have not been well received. No. So I think he got his for like $700.
There's a lot where you get like $100 or $200 gift card too with it at Best Buy.
Yeah.
Like, there's like a lot of promotions I've seen.
Yeah, I should think about doing that just because I'm having a lot of problems with my 3 XL, where it's just Bluetooth connectivity keeps cutting out for me.
Oh, it's not good.
Yeah, it's a real bummer. I have to like restart it. I have to actually shut it down, wait like a minute, then bring it back, and then sometimes that fixes the problems. Sometimes that problem stays, and it's just like, well, cool. My watch is no longer just like giving me information, or my Bluetooth will disconnect, and it's just like, this is frustrating.
Yeah, it's super.
Yeah,
annoying.
but
Especially to the watch, right?
Yeah,
because it's Bluetooth to watch.
Yeah,
yeah.
But the watch does grab Wi-Fi. Like if I have your house's Wi-Fi, my watch will steal that information. And then it'll, even if my phone now turns off, my watch will still be connected to stuff.
So the 4A is basically the cheaper.
Yeah, that's the
like
budget version
plastic,
of the Pixel.
Plastic body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just basically cheaper components to be able to
The
make
3A was really well received. People really liked it. More affordable price. And it still has the headphone jack. It looks like the 4A will also have a headphone jack. So
are you going to get the 4? What are you gonna do with your phone?
I don't know. I kind of want my phone to last till the 5 comes out and then get it right when it's like newer. I think it might be able to make it. It's risky. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, especially with all the 4, like the whole 4 debacle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that's the kind of stuff that like Google will see that and react to it and make the 5 better.
Get the A20, or not the A20, S20.
Yeah, the S20. The S20 Ultra.
It's selling really, really well.
It's
now.
really cool.
It is gonna be.
But I just don't want to deal with Samsung's like proprietary random bullshit that they
Google
add there.
has it too, you know.
No, it doesn't. Google's is way less. When you start up your phone, it has almost no bloatware on there. It's great. Samsung always has all of their stuff.
Folder. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, I hate doing that. I hate doing that. And with the 3XL, they made it so you can delete whatever app you wanted. So you didn't even have to have a little shit folder. Yeah.
Apple's thinking about doing that. I'm super stoked about that.
They've integrated that. They've done that for a lot of their apps now. There's very few now that you have to then create the Apple folder. Yeah, with random crap in there.
Yeah. So I'm just interested in seeing what you're gonna do with your phone. I don't know if the 4.
Yeah, honestly, if I could wait for the 5. Which is probably next August.
Are they gonna nail it though? Like, is it gonna be that great? Like I said, the S20 is absolutely killing right now. Like that thing is hot. Like, I've worked in retail for quite some years now, right? I don't think there's been a phone launch in the last couple years that I think have been as big as this guy.
Have you guys sold out of it?
Yeah, there are times that we sell out of it. Yeah, but again, it's not like the older iPhones where it's like you couldn't get them anywhere.
For several months.
Yeah. So I mean, we definitely sell out of them. It's just like I feel like there's just a constant stream of people, coming in and getting them. So
yeah, I don't like the Galaxy ecosystem, and I feel like that's an issue I've had for a while with Galaxy. Samsung
you get bad phones, like Google.
The 3XL is great. The camera phenomenal on it. Is my camera good anymore? No, stupid dirt stuck in there. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I can't get the dirt out.
Just take it to a repair place, that's easy.
Yeah, the only repair place is here in Hayward. It's so far from me.
Terrible. Well, Kevin, you ready to talk some tech? Get into the big stories?
Let's do it.
Let's talk some tech. So, I know this one is probably going to make you very, very happy if this all
is a
passes
great
through.
one, yeah.
EU plans to introduce sweeping right-to-repair legislation for electronics. As part of the newly announced Circular Economy Action Plan, the European Commission, the body that drafts the EU's laws, says it will introduce a right-to-repair legislation that will push electronic manufacturers to create products that last longer, include as many recycled materials as possible, and are easy to reuse, repair, and recycle. If the European Parliament were to pass the legislation, it would extend its eco-design law to cover phones, tablets, computers, and likely force tech companies to completely rethink the designs of their products. The legislation would also require the same companies to provide easy access to information related to the repairability and durability of their products. At the moment, most consumers have to turn to websites like iFixit to find information on how to fix their devices. That's kind of where I want to keep it at, because I feel like that's the pertinent part that I wanted to put in there, that they want it to be really easily accessible to be able to fix the stuff. And I know we've talked about things like Tesla, where it's like you basically can't go anywhere else to repair. You have to go through them. You can't get parts.
Apple, that like makes it difficult for repair companies. We have the Rossman as a. Do you know this channel?
No,
I can't remember his name. It's something Rossman, where he what he does is he owns a repair shop in New York City, and he kind of walks people through, like, hey, somebody spilled water here. If you go in, like, he takes the laptops apart, and he'll be like, Apple told this guy that there's no way to fix it, but like all we have to do is wire here, here, and here, and it's good to go again. And it's one of those things that like he puts Apple on blast a lot for trying to get their customers to, instead of fix their computers, just buy a new computer. And there's been a lot of talk of right to repair here in the United States. We've been going back and forth with it for a while, and it's like, I hope if the EU adopts this, it will help us also adopt it as well.
I mean, they're not going to make different models just for
right.
Yeah.
So also, like, companies like Apple keep all their specs totally secret, and this Rossman has to go like and basically get illegal documentation,
black market stuff.
Yeah, black market like software to try to figure out what is where the issue is and what he needs to replace to fix it. So hopefully this will make that easier for him.
I guess they could do different region ones, right? Give America is the one where, but I mean, I guess the information won't be secret anymore,
right?
Unless they do some real TV stuff and try to make it as different.
But
as possible.
that costs money.
Yeah.
Like if you have to engineer a different motherboard for it, it's going to cost them money, which hopefully they won't do, but they might.
Yeah, they might. I mean, just think.
But again, hopefully this brings more attention to it, and the fights continue here. And
Apple's probably the biggest offender.
Yeah.
And again, I love their stuff, and I do get like, so they actually just lost their lawsuit. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't see that.
They lost the lawsuit about the whole battery thing, about the killing the battery to make the processor better.
Yeah. See, that one I kind of understand in the sense that like, if you lower the processing speed, it makes the battery last longer. So that kind of makes sense. But when you
go into Apple and go, hey, my phone's slowing down, right? Or my battery sucks, right? And they go, oh, well, it's time to upgrade. Instead of like, oh, all we need to do is like change out the battery. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
It's
that's
like
true.
That's oh, yeah, you probably should buy a new one. It's time to upgrade.
Yeah.
So they did lose that. You get $25 in the mail if you bought one of those iPhones. So congratulations.
All right.
On that class action lawsuit. Anything else you want to add to the right to repair?
No, I mean, it's important, and anyone that keeps the fight going is doing it for the right reasons, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that could be big. That could be huge for the
especially if it
entire
pushes
globe.
companies to make longer-lasting devices. That's always positive.
I don't know if recycled parts would necessarily make them longer lasting. We'll see, though.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Amazon's checkout free tech is heading to other retailers. After announcing its plans to license its automated checkout technology to other retailers, the company has revealed it has several signed deals with customers and has launched, I don't know why it says customers, launched a new website inviting...
the customers of the companies. Yeah, so like let's say they have a deal with Target or something. Yeah.
My bad.
No worries.
Inviting inquiries from other interested in the Just Walk Out experience. The venture will operate under the name Just Walk Out rather than relying on its app. Shoppers will insert a credit card into a gated turnstile, which will display Just Walk Out technology by Amazon logo. All aspects of branding will be controlled by the retailer. As the Google Go store or as the Amazon Go stores, the system will recognize items picked up by customers and bill them once they leave.
Have you gone to an Amazon Go store?
I have not. I know you have.
It is awesome. You go in there, you download an app before you do it, you set it up, and you just scan the app, walk in, grab whatever you want, and then just walk out. You get an email. It's like, hey, these are the 4 things you have, and it's good to go.
I like the idea of not having the app and just doing like credit card real quick and then walking in.
I mean, I feel like it's very similar where it's like I'm sure it's gonna have an NFC functionality instead of actually putting the credit card in, and so just scanning it. I don't care if it's like I have to put the app down or just scan my credit card.
What stores would you want this from? Like what stores?
I mean, this is the kind of thing that like I wish. It's hard because like I feel like it would be difficult for them to have both options available, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you can't imagine. Like I can't imagine Target, like as big a store as it is, switching over to just this.
Yeah, or like a Lucky's where it's like, all right, what's the limitation? You have a cart and you're putting things in the cart and you fill up the cart. Like I wonder if there is technology limitations because you see it on these little tiny kind of bodega stores where it's like you go in, you grab a sandwich, you grab a Coke, and you walk out and you're good to go.
Yeah, I'm super curious to see what stores are going to actually adopt this technology because it does feel like it works best for these little bodega stores, the little quick stops where you're just grabbing a snack. The one in San Francisco is like in the financial district, so it very much feels like, oh, you just want to grab your lunch quick and go. And that's actually what we did. We went to watch a movie beforehand. Afterwards, we walked out, wanted to grab something to eat, picked up a couple things, and just walked out. And
Did you see employees?
There were a couple employees walking around, but like the reality of this all, like I know that like they're like, no, it's not about getting rid of employees. It's about having them specialize in other things. But
technology doesn't unionize.
Yeah.
You want to get rid of that.
And the fact is, we have a bunch of self-serve tellers, instead of going
we already
to
have
talk
self-checkout.
Yeah, self-checkout. That's what I meant. So it's just like things are moving that way. And if I don't have to worry about scanning stuff or putting them on the little tray and it being like, no, you didn't put it right, make sure that all items are on the tray, it's going to be a little bit easier and smoother.
I was in our local Lucky's, which is a grocery store, right? And I just saw one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen. It was a guy trying to use the self-checkout. He didn't know he had to put it down. And he was just getting so, like, I was in and out, like, by the time he was out of there. He was just getting so frustrated.
And I get it, man.
And, like,
sometimes the sensors are off or you're leaning on it.
And had to come over for the third time, had to log in and be like, oh, okay, you okay? He's like, I just want to check out. He's like, I don't know how this works. I just want to leave.
He could have gone to the regular line.
It was hilarious. It was one of the most comically funny things I've seen.
This is the kind of thing I'd love to see everywhere. Like if any store I go to, like if I could just have the transaction be faster, that's great. It is my only worry is that you're not super aware of how much you're spending, unless you're like really good at calculating and sitting there like being like, well, that was $4, this is $3.
Yeah, you don't get to see it by the time you're out the door. That's
you're like, oh, it was $21. What? Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of getting rid of jobs, I guess, and robots and technology. Did you watch this video?
I did not watch the video.
So it's actually really cool. So essentially, let me find. Okay, so MIT basically developed this robot to learn to set a dining table by watching humans set a dining table.
That's really cool.
And let me get into the article. So to date, teaching a robot to perform a task has usually involved either direct coding, trial and error tests, and hand-holding the machine. Soon, though, you might just have to perform the task like you would any other day. MIT scientists have developed a system planning with uncertain specifications that helps bots learn complicated tasks when they are otherwise stumble. Such as setting the dining table instead of the usual method where the robot receives rewards for performing the right actions. They they call it PUNS. Puns. I just want to not avoid that at all costs.
Planning with uncertain specifications.
Has the bot hold beliefs over a variety of specifications and use a language, linear temporal logic that lets it reason about what it has to do right now and in the future. Sorry, stumbled through that.
No worries. We got there, though. It's cool. The concept of, like, hey, Raw, watch me, like, cut this carrot, okay? Now you do it, and it like understands how you want it cut. Like that's really cool.
Yeah, and it actually goes
Very
in terms
simple.
of like a goal in mind instead of just I'm coded to do this, so
Right.
you're gonna pick this up and you're gonna move it over here. It's like no, I want to move this from here to here, and this is why.
But like at CES 2020, we saw that they had Samsung had the arms.
Yeah, the kitchen arms.
Kitchen arms, and like those, I assume, have to be very specifically programmed, and it would be cool to integrate this technology into it, so suddenly you could show it how to do stuff, and it's like it understands the process and it's
why
trying
you're
to mimic
doing it.
Yeah,
And I think that's the biggest thing about this that I think is
machine
crazy.
learning, man.
MIT nuts to even develop this because this is a big deal where it's like a machine actually has a reason on why it's doing it and like an actual reasonable approach on how to do it, how to tackle it. If it runs into obstacles, what would be the next best way to do it? Just kind of like Spot, right, from Boston Dynamics, the dog.
Yeah.
Which this stuff's getting more mainstream. Like the fact that we saw it at CES, I feel like it's not
it's
that
cool.
far
It's
off,
really exciting,
especially with the kitchen arms. Crazy stuff. Weird video too. I mean, not weird. I mean,
wait, this one or
this one. You just kind of see it like picking up. I mean, not that exciting. But
interesting that 20,000 attempts, it only made 6 mistakes.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Not bad.
Good call.
Not bad, robot.
That's solid.
Yeah.
I don't think I could even nail it.
No, yeah, you don't know where the little fork goes.
It doesn't escargot.
Yeah.
Why is there a little fork?
It's for escargot.
There's a little spoon?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The
Too
little
many.
spoons for sugar in the tea.
I don't think I've ever set like a proper dining table. Have you?
I mean, what's like for like Christmas and stuff, but we don't go all out with all the forks, you know?
Yeah, why so many forks, Tombo? Why?
We just use the same one for salads and
I
meals.
just use the same one for everything.
There it is.
It's white people.
Yeah.
All the little forks,
Yeah.
the big forks, little forks. Well, I wanted to run. I threw this in here because you're such a big Google fan, and I just think this is laughable, and I think that it's
So
not
just
gonna
to
last very
fucking
long.
mock me
Yeah,
is why
yeah,
you
no,
threw it in
is.
there. Great.
Because Google doesn't stand by their stuff. So Doom Eternal won't be true 4K on Stadia despite early promises.
Okay, that's not Google's fault though,
I mean, it is. Why promise it?
because they talk to.
But your platform can't
Bethesda,
do it.
Bethesda,
You know your platform
Bethesda.
can't do it. You know your platform
Theoretically, it can. So far, the response has been, "Hey, everything's in there for 4K. These companies aren't putting it out there though," and that it
But
seems
if
like
it
that's
breaks
what's
your
still
game,
happening.
that's like
Does it break the game? It doesn't break the game.
that's like with the PlayStation 3 having the cell shading processor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's this doesn't make games run good.
God,
That's your fault. You
wanted
should be able to make it run better.
I
on
wanted
this.
Stadia to work so badly, you know.
It's not gonna. So when Google unveiled Stadia, its software proudly proclaimed that Doom Eternal would be a marquee title that would run on true 4K on a game streaming service. Flash forward a year, however, and that's no longer true. A launch date sheet for Doom Eternal has revealed the Stadia version of the hellish first-person shooter will run at 1800p upscaled to 4K. That is still much higher resolution than 1080p and include perks like 60 frames per second and HDR, but it also means you won't get better performance than the Xbox One X player.
That's a bummer. It's just another like.
But honestly, I don't know if we have. I've had this discussion on invite only over here. Play everything. YouTube.com/play everything.
Mm-hmm.
We've had this conversation many times. How long do you see Stadia? Like, obviously, I don't think it's ready. Just like the foldable phones, I don't think they're that ready.
To me, it baffles my mind. Like for the Stadia Founder Pack, they didn't extend the 3-month 4K period. Like, no one's like the 4K. Like, it's just because I've played Destiny on there, and it's saying 4K, but like you can tell that it's being compressed to fucking all hell, and it doesn't look good. And it's just one of these things that like
4K.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't mean it, you know? And it's like, it sucks that they're actually, like, I think that the $10 per month might have started actually charging or will start in the next couple weeks. And it's just like, why are you charging people for something that doesn't work?
You promised and you can't deliver on. Like,
Again,
yeah, sure.
Again,
the infrastructure's
they're
there
saying
for
the
4K.
infrastructure's there.
Absolutely.
It's the game companies, but like that's on them for not.
I wouldn't even say it's the game companies. Like you said, the 4K, it says it's 4K and it's compressed. That's because you're passing through all this data through the internet and it's just getting compressed. Like, that's just like when you watch Netflix 4K, sometimes it gets compressed. Now, obviously, video, a lot easier to do, and it's a lot more tested and streamlined to where it works. Like, every once in a while, you'll get the decompressing and then compressing, and then you'll see
and
it
it'll
regular.
kick in.
Yeah. I think we're very, very far out from this. How long do you think Stadia actually has legs to last? Because I
think it's gonna last for a while. Especially, I don't think that it's the $10 service is gonna be very popular.
I say next year they stop advertising about it. End of next year, it's gonna be beginning of the 2022. You'll see the end of like the advertising and pushing it. And then there's going to be 3 years, and then they're going to be like, "Oh, we're discontinuing the Stadia service."
I have a feeling that next year they're going to do another major push where they're like, "Hey, it's better now."
The technology's not there. That's why I put it on the show. It's just I feel like it's nothing against it. It's just
I've seen it work well. God damn it!
Have you? Because
Not
even when they
recently.
demoed it, it wasn't working.
I mean, their biggest problem is that their selection of games. They we were talking about this on I think maybe at Games Daily or something. One of those shows. We do it kind of funny, where they put out a tweet that was like Stadia, and each letter was a video game that you can get on there. And for I, they just had this little emoji because they don't have a game that starts with I. And it's like, well, why would you tweet that out? Why would you bring attention to the fact that you don't have?
It's hilarious.
It's honestly, it's really sad, and it bums me out because I really wanted Stadia to succeed. I bought a Founders Pack.
No, you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I did.
One of these.
Well,
You bought it. You bought it.
Yeah. I want it. Here's the thing. I honestly believe you have to put your money where
Mouth is.
what you believe in.
Okay,
You know?
Yeah, I don't think that's the same, but okay.
No, but wait, you get what I'm saying? Where it's like you have to support the things that you want to succeed. I want smartwatches to be a thing, so I keep buying them. You know? Do they do everything that I want? They're close.
Real close.
No, I think we've gotten to the point where my smartwatch does everything I want it to do.
A couple more iterations and we'll be.
But here's the thing, they're not going to have more iterations if we're not supporting it.
But
you know what I'm saying?
it's just, I hear you. I definitely hear you. And again, I get the games thing. I'm not even like talking about the games thing because that's a whole nother conversation for a different podcast because that's also a mess. But like, I don't think the infrastructure's there. Definitely. I mean, even in like San Francisco where the internet infrastructure is pretty good, right? And when you can get things like Sonic, 1,000 up, 1,000 down, right? It works out.
Which I recently got.
Nobody has it. How's that? How is that? Okay, so anything to say on Stadia? Because I actually want to talk about this Sonic.
Games play, they function, they work. Is it perfect? No, it doesn't look great on my the LG C8 that I have. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it bums me out a little. I want it to look better, but like the games play fine. The biggest problem I have is that there's no games that I want to play on it.
Yeah, because you played them all.
Yeah, exactly.
On everything.
And it's disappointing. But talk about the Sonic stuff.
So that's okay. So Sonic Internet, thank God there's a savior.
Mm-hmm.
Still gotta wait for Sean to upgrade us to Sonic. Mm-hmm. Still waiting for that. Still under Xfinity's thumb. But it's an internet provider named Sonic, and they do fiber optic. This is going to be in very specific areas, mostly Bay Area, but 1,000 up, 1,000 down.
Not all of the Bay Area. Notably, like the Daly City, where the new studio is going to be, there is no Sonic.
That's
we
crazy.
have to stay.
And yet, I get it out here in Hayward.
It's upsetting. It's really upsetting.
But 1,000 up, 1,000 down, fiber optic, no data caps whatsoever. Yep. How has it been?
$50 a month for me.
How's it been?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't have anything hardwired in, which is my biggest problem. Right now, the Wi-Fi, I think that on most devices, I'm seeing like 300 up and down, and 300 is more than you need for anything that I do.
So you actually don't see the 1,000?
I don't see the 1,000 on the Wi-Fi, but that's because the devices that we have don't utilize 1,000. Like even your laptop, maybe it'll get up a little higher than 300. But again, I don't need anything higher than 300. My internet speed seems fine.
Have you done the speed test though?
Yeah.
Oh, because I've seen it.
I can do a speed test with my Google Wi-Fi, and it'll say 950.
Okay.
But that's just through the network.
Yeah.
So if I plug in something to one of the little Wi-Fi pods, whatever's plugged in will get that speed. I just don't have anything set up to it. But again, I don't think I'm gonna need anything unless. Eventually, I'm going to have a laptop plugged into it, and I'll be downloading a movie, and it'll download in 2 seconds, and that'll be great.
Fantastic.
But
That's
right
great.
now, still with the 300, if I download, on my iPad a movie in UHD quality, it shoots by. It's just so fast. It's incredible. But it's also one of those things that, I currently am not utilizing it to its full capacity.
To full potential. Tom, just imagine that, how quick that upload time would be on videos.
Oh,
just instant.
Tim has Sonic as well.
Yeah.
And we've had issues at the studio where we can't upload things because Comcast is just going too slow. And it's saying it's going to take 5 hours to upload. He goes to his house in minutes.
No.
Yeah, it's
beautiful. Tombo.
Because he's got he's got his desktop hardwired.
This is such a nerdy thing
directly.
To be excited about.
I know.
That's so
but, dude,
great.
It's so fast. It's one of those things where you go to YouTube, you drop it, and it just goes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love
it. I'm not talking about small files. We had to transfer 100 gig file.
You're a podcast company, essentially.
Yeah. We had the battle. What is it called? The show that we do. You know this. Come on, we were just talking about it. Borderlands. I always say battle, and it always screws me up. So we had a Borderlands file that was very, very big. We're talking about 100 gigs, and we were transferring in the studio. It was going to take, literally, it said 12 hours. So I was like, screw this. We need to get this to our editor, who we use Roger for this particular edit. So we were trying to upload it to a Google Drive. And Tim took it home, and it took 20 minutes.
That's awesome. I love it.
100 gigs.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Oh man, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
That's it. We're on the cusp of good internet everywhere in the Bay Area.
And yet Stadia still can't work on it, you know? It's great. Anyway.
I wanted to work so bad.
Okay, cool. That could be your tech review. That will be the tech review of the week. This is the Sonic internet.
The idea of not having to have a console and just be able to just use your controller, that works so seamlessly. Like if I go into my bedroom and I press the little guy and it connects to the little prompt will come up on the Chromecast page where it'll be like, oh, put this command in there and it'll sync to that. And then I can go into the Stadia app. It's awesome. I love being able to switch from my living room to my bedroom. It's so smooth. But just the games, man. The games aren't there.
Doesn't work.
I don't even super care they don't look amazing. I just want there to be better games on there.
We'll see.
Day and date, you know what I mean?
We'll get there. We will get there. Well, Kevin, I got some tech steals of the week for you, and then we can close it on out. The Sony M3 noise canceling headphones, $279.99 right now at Best Buy. You could save $70.
God, those are expensive headphones.
Phenomenal headphones.
Yeah.
Though. Very, very worth it. Tombo has a pair. Sean has a pair. I steal them all the time for editing. I really want a pair. The best noise canceling on the market, hands down, if you're looking for something with really, really great noise canceling. Sounds phenomenal. They all do high-res audio. Good steal. Like I said, $70 off. Go ahead and grab a pair of those. And then the 65Q70 right now is a ridiculous price, $939.99 if you're looking for a full array TV that actually does true
full
HDR.
Array?
Full array.
What's full array?
Full array LED. Backlight.
Oh, full array.
Yeah.
Got it.
Full array.
I was like, full array. What is that? Is that like the...
If you're looking for that, that's $460 off right now. So go and cop that over at your local Best Buy. And if you don't have Best Buy, well, I'm sure Amazon has it for comparable price.
One quick complaint that I have about a deal that I was telling you about earlier.
What deal?
So Dell, I want to say it's the last week and a half, they were running a deal with...
Is it still current?
No, it's no longer there, and it's extremely frustrating. I'll get into that in a second. So they were running a deal that you can get 3 of the colored bulbs plus a hub and a switch, the Hue switch.
How many?
Hue dimmer switch.
I'm gonna take you off track right now. How many hubs do you have?
3.
Because I feel like I hooked you up
3.
with so many like.
I have
packs.
3. I was so close to having 7, but I'm so upset because it was $120 for this pack of 3 bulbs and the switcher dimmer, right? The dim switcher.
Yeah. Switch.
So I was like, hey man, that comes out to $120 plus they gave you a $50 gift card. And I was like, okay, that's $70 for 3 bulbs.
Now we're talking.
For these bulbs, what? They retail for $45 a pop?
Yeah, they're very expensive.
That's really expensive, and that's a good deal. So I was like, screw it, I'm going to get a bunch of these because, you always need more bulbs.
Yeah, always need
So
more
I
bulbs.
bought 4 of them.
You're a madman. I love it.
And then Dell the next day hit me up and was like, oh, hey, there was a problem with your order.
You try to reorder?
One of them got canceled. I called. I was at work, so I had to hang up the call. Called them back the next day, and now the order didn't say problem. Now it was canceled. I was like, hey, what the hell? It got canceled, and they're like, hey, sorry. It looks like there was an issue, and it flagged it, and you didn't handle it in time. I was like, oh, it's a bummer. And then two other ones flagged and got canceled.
They don't have stock.
That is the issue. And then I called again, and they were like, yeah, there's nothing we can do. There was an issue with your order. Now it's been fully canceled. I was like, well, can I rebuy them now? It's like, well, the deal's gone. And I was like, well, you guys can't give me the deal anymore? You can't just figure out a way to put that code in there?
No.
Well, he was like, well, no, they're out of stock. And I was like, well, are they going to be in stock ever again? And he was like, I don't know. And that was the end of the conversation. So I got 1 pack for $70, and it's a real little bummer. Tim got 4 packs.
Oh, he got the 4.
Yeah, he integrated them too, and they look great.
Too slow.
It really was. It was so disappointing.
Well, that's been Tech Fever, and I think we have quite the fever over here with today's episode. If you also have the fever, go ahead and subscribe, share. Let me know what you think about everything we talked about in today's episode in the comments down below, or go ahead and subscribe and rate over on podcast services everywhere. Yeah, YouTube. No, Google Podcasts,
Yes.
Apple Podcasts, and
All of them. All the good
Spotify.
ones.
Yeah, I mean, the important ones. You know?
Oh, okay.
I don't know about all of them.
Wow.
Well, no.
Wow.
Yes. So please, it helps us get an algorithm. It helps us grow. You could always follow Kevin, as always, at Kind of Funny Kevin over on Twitter, and you can catch him on his show over at youtube.com/Kind of Funny Screencast every.
Well, it was recorded on Wednesday this week.
Every.
So it moves around. It moves around. Every week, let's say.
You can follow Tombo Vlogs over at Tombo Vlogs on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me at Cheeks_Junior and follow me here, youtube.com/play everything. We are the ones that keep the lights on. I don't know where I was going with that.
We play everything.
We play everything, and we got the fever. Until next time.
I got the fever.